Okay, so in this, it's a class 1 of antiarrhythmic drugs, and it is divided into 1A, 1B, and 1C. We know that what is class 1, what does that mean? The outermost one, that is sodium ions, because they're outside the cells, they're always present outside cells. We have already done that concept also. So it's sodium ions which are outside. So we're talking about class 1 antiarrhythmic drugs. It is further divided into 3 subtypes, that is 1A, 1B, and 1C. Okay, so function is to block the sodium ions. If we will block them, so there will not be any conduction for the propagation of the action potential. We can say there will be no depolarization. If that is not happening, there will be no repolarization. Means the same cycle won't be able to repeat again and again and again. So this is beneficial in some sort of tachycardias, arrhythmias. So let's dive into it now. 1A. So they will block the sodium ions in the open state. 1B will block the sodium ions in the closed states, and 1C will block the sodium ions in the open state again. So basically it's about the blockage of the sodium ions which we should come to our mind. And second thing, which state they are blocked in. Either they are blocked in the open state or they are blocked in the closed state. If they are blocked in the open state, well, mostly they are blocked in this open state only, and there is 1A and 1B. The two extremes, they are open, but the center one, the middle one, is little different. So that is in the closed state. We have to memorize. Now first we are done with what kind of ions are channels are blocked. Then we did in which states they are blocked, and third point is about the duration, for how long they are blocked. So one is blocked for like 1 to 10 seconds, 1B only for 1 second, and 1C for more than 10 seconds. Now how to make it happen in a magical way so that we never need to read it again. So let's start that process too. See, 1B, B for anything. So B means बस it's कुछ सेकंड का ब्लॉक, बस it's कुछ सेकंड का ब्लॉक. It means the least time duration blockage is by 1B, बस कुछ seconds का ब्लॉक. So that is less than 1 second. And जो C है, that is for the maximum duration, that is more than 10 seconds. And little bit in between this 1 and 10 is 1 to 10 seconds, that is 1A. Fine, but still for 1A and 1C we need to make it happen more. Like C is maybe a crazy one, will keep on working crazily for more duration of time, therefore the block will be for more duration of time. And yeah, that is it. And then the second ion, we will also talk about it a little bit, which is another fact which we are talking about, is potassium ion. So basically they will block the potassium ion too. If the potassium ions are blocked, means there will be delay in the repolarization. So somewhere we are getting an effect of controlling the overactivity of these depolarization, repolarizations, and we can help ourselves, we can help the patient, we can stick to the concept how they work in some ectopic action potential generated, ectopically generated action potentials, or arrhythmias, or fibrillations, tachycardias, right? So it's for the potassium ion blockade. So 1A will block, and this will be the maximum potassium. Now they would like to, okay, fine, we are like in open state, but somewhere we are in the duration of action is not maximum, like 1 to 2 seconds. So we are like standard to, I say, no, I will try my best. 1A says I will try my best. If I am somewhere mediocre for in the process of blocking the sodium ions, then I will try my best to block the other ion, that is potassium ion, maximally, and that's what it did. So it blocked it to the maximum extent. Now what is happening is, now because of the sodium blockade, what is happening, there is this little bit of delay, because it's 1 to 10 seconds. So definitely it's more than 1B, but less than 1C. So there will be delay in the depolarization. But because of this maximum potassium ion blockade, there is what we say is a long or maximum delay in the repolarization. So that is what we have to cling to. So we have to think of 1A means repolarization, because it's got maximum effect, it has maximum effect on the potassium ions. So what we will get is that phase of blocking the repolarization, sodium potassium. So that particular phase between depolarization is QT interval, right? Depolarization repeat, QRST. The interval is QT interval, so it's gonna increase that interval. It will increase in, and rare complication हमें मिलती है for the tachycardias, and that is torsates. That will be a side effect of the 1A antiarrhythmic drugs. So 1A is very clear. So they are gonna block the sodium ion in the open state. But this blockade is not to the maximum effect, it's 1 to 10 seconds. Therefore, they will block some other ions to the maximum effect, and that is of potassium ions. And then there will be a maximum delay in the repolarization. QT interval is going to get prolonged, it's going to increase. And inside fact, we have to learn of something called Torsades fact. Very clear. And next is 1C. Let's click to 1C because we have done C. It has maximum effect of blocking the sodium ions in the open state, and that is more than 10 seconds. Okay. And then opposite to it, potassium ions will be negligible. Blockage of potassium ions, it will be very negligible. So this is nothing we need not see, we just have to click to the sodium ions. So 1C, if blockade is too much, it means the maximum delay in the depolarization is by 1C. And since the potassium ions blockade is negligible, and so there will be no delay there will be little bit or minute delay in the repolarization. So what we will get is QT prolongation, no QT prolongation, there will be no effect on QT, just we can say there will be maximum delay in the depolarization, that's it. Now coming to 1B, बस कुछ time के लिए, बस कुछ seconds के लिए block for very less time, it's less than 1 second. So basically, and that too it's acting in the closed state, so मतलब कुछ seconds के लिए just close your eyes for few seconds. We can think in that way, close and then open. So it's just like that, less than 1 second is its duration of action. But something is different here, it's not blocking potassium ions, it's opening it, it's basically agonist to the potassium ions activity, therefore it's gonna cause early repolarization. So little bit of blockage of sodium will cause little bit delay in the depolarization, but because of K plus agonist effect, same effect means opening effect, K plus ions agonist effect is gonna cause the early repolarization. So something is gonna get shortened, gonna get decrease, and that is QT will decrease in the case of 1B. So this was overall view, and so basically what we can use them in accessory pathways, we can use in normal cells of myocardium, where we can use this class of drugs antiarrhythmic. So it was 1A, 1B and 1C. Now let's move further how they work. So first of all, about 1A, we're gonna block now AV. This is gonna be responsible for the AV block. Along with it, they have anticholinergic effect. Now AV block is there, so there will be and there is a AV block plus there is anticholinergic effect. So because of anticholinergic effects, there will be increased conduction of AV. Because of block, there is delay, but there is fast conduction. The overall effect is PR shortening. Overall effect will be PR interval will get shortened. An exception in 1A will be procainamide, in which there is PR prolongation. So P for procainamide, prolongation and PR interval. Now, how to memorize this drug procainamide? So if it is about the heart, it's about the if we want to play with, let's take an example, playing with hearts or playing the cards of hearts or even anything, right? You need to be very smart, you have to be pro at that particular thing. So that is procainamide, right? So it's like you have to be pro in that way. And if you are playing with some, if canes, I'm thinking of canes, some maybe for drinks or something. So you're playing with all those things, you're playing with the hearts, you're doing some game thing in which you're using those canes. So you have to be pro in order to succeed. Since they were not successful in increasing their sodium ion blockage, because then they played well in blocking the potassium ions for the maximum concentration, and because of this maximum delay in repolarization only there was QT increase. But now they are responsible for AV blockade, plus they are responsible for the anticholinergic effects. So overall what we get is PR interval shortening, fast conduction, decreased delay. But exception to this class, that is 1A, is procainamide. So since they are pro, they know how to deal with the things, and that is an exception. So how we are learning procainamides, PR interval prolongation. Very clear. We can say in order to be trained in any event, whether it's playing with the hearts or hearts cards or with the canes, you have to be pro, and you have to, that takes long time. So therefore PR prolongation is, otherwise 1A we have to think of PR shortening. Very clear. And if we take 1B into consideration, that is different thing, because it has no effect on AV, it has no effect on PR. Overall it's like sleeping entity, because sleeping, blink of eyes, you open, you close, and it's acting on sodium ions. So can we say 1B is a beauty and that is a sleeping beauty? Maybe that's way how we can learn it. And 1C is just AV blockade. So AV blockade hai, so there will be only PR prolongation, definitely, because it will be not blocked. If it is AV is blocked, the potential won't be able to reach further. So therefore this is what we say is also only AV prolongation, and procainamide is very clear for 1C. Next move, how we are using them. Definitely we have to maintain, we are in the events, in the conditions where we want to maintain the sinus rhythm, we will be using first class of drugs, 1A or 1C, and conditions like SVT, PSVT, ventricular tachycardia, ventricular fibrillations, and first of all we will think of 1A. And then these are always drugs which we are using with AV blockade agents, and see, we always have to, we have the side effect over here, that is increased QT interval, and we know the conserve QT is prolonged. And drugs like queen, because 1 means something on top and queens are on top, pros are on top, so therefore 1A we have procainamide, we have quinidine. Quinidine say we have to learn queen, and side effect will be diarrhea. So it doesn't matter how pro you are, but you can't have a control on everything, even not on your gut, not on your loose motion thing. So diarrhea is a side effect. So pros also suffer from these common problems, so that is diarrhea. And then tinnitus, vertigo. So pros, whether you're a queen or a pro, you may fall. If you're on the top, you may fall. These are the statements which you have to keep on revising. You are queen, you are pro, you may fall, and fall we have to link with the vertigo. When there's vertigo, you may fall. Or tinnitus, you may hear something, And then quinidine also has one property of inhibiting the PGPs, that is that is basically it's a channel which can throw out the drugs into the plasma bag, don't let the drugs to enter into the cells, to the targets. So that's the function of PGPs. But what quinidine is doing is blocking these PGPs. Now what is happening is too much of the drugs will go to the targets, and too much of the drugs in the body means toxicity. And if there is digoxin toxicity, then it can be because the culprit is quinidine, because it's inhibiting PGP, and the dioxin is not being able to thrown out of the body into the plasma, not able to cleared, and it remains in the body, and that is basically the that's basically digoxin toxicity. So sometimes you are queen, you are pro, you are so much into your pride, and you may become toxic for the common people or crowd. That's how we learn. But if in the case we are not able to maintain the rhythm of our body, of our heart, and the things are not responding well to these 1A conditions, 1A not these things are not happening well, then we will shift to the 1C. They are most arrhythmogenic drugs. So they are more arrhythmogenic drugs, and only if the refractory or life threatening, right? So they are more basically you are avoiding these 1C group of drugs, right? Why? Because they are very arrhythmogenic, they are very toxic. We'll avoid them, they are life threatening. But if there is no response to 1A, we will have to use 1C, and in that we have to use flecainides. So it's about the flecainides, it's about the echinanides, it's about the propafenones and mobicizines and flecainide, right? So how do you make it happen? Flecainide is preferred drugs, diagnosis of Brugade syndromes, and side effect is worsening CHF and blurring of vision. So flecainides, everything is blurred and looks like very fake, and because you don't have that charm in your eyes, you can't see the reality sometimes. That's why it looks fake, it looks dull. So that's the side effect we can learn. But how it's flecainide C, 1C, It's about the eyes, it's about the blurring of visions, it's about the something fake, that is fleekenites. So that is basically the preferred drug for the Brugate syndrome. Other drugs will be echinonides. You can't see at night or night. We can make it a relation see, eyes, and nights. So we're using nights here. Fleekenide is done. Echinonides, and sometimes we have another drug, this is propafenone. And for night and for non. So in that you have the sodium channel blockers work function of the propafenone, because the name is propafenone. In that NON is coming, so it's not like it's working. NON is one is also there. It's not like it's working from one particular thing, but it's not blocking one particular channels but many channels. So that's why we don't think go to the name. It's just like something is wrong with the name. It's not one but many channels, many ions channels are blocked, whether be it sodium channel or the calcium ions, or even it's a weak beta blocker too. Then we have mometasone, it's not used, so no need to think of it more. And then fleekenides is then we will take orally, just simple, and it's most preferred because it's long-term action, and that's about 1C. If we come back to 1A, we have some side effects. We know only 1A increased QT intervals, that's on the normal doses. Then it's going to inhibit the alpha inhibitor, hypertension. It will cause hypertension because it has anticholinergic effects, means alpha blocker is there, so hypertension is a side effect. On high doses it can cause ventricular tachycardia. That's what you have to learn, because if it's queens, they may fall, they may be toxic, they may have a tachycardia, because sometimes being in those big palaces or big houses, bungalows, they may have some phobias and anxieties. They can't come out of their place or houses, so they may have tachycardias. And sometimes effect of this will be antiarrhythmic effects that we know, the antiarrhythmics, even the anti-malarial and pyretic. Definitely queens don't have these kind of things, because they are the queens, they live in a very good houses, good sanitations, good environment, so anti-malarial and antipyretic. So if there is no malaria, there will be no fever. So somewhere we can link somewhere like that, because it's pharmacology, and somehow we have to learn and keep the things in mind for some time. And for the procainamide, we have already learned there is an exception in this. There's PR, interval prolongation, P for prolongation, P for procainamide. And side effect of procainamide is again hypertension, but now it is because of the decreased action potential on the ganglionic receptors, and it can also cause SLE and agranulocytosis. Somewhere we can keep it in mind. But if you are pro, it doesn't mean you will be protected from SLE, or there will be some absence of some disease. We had diarrhea too here in the side effects. Alright, so we had tinnitus, vertigo, and some side effects of the procainamides like hypertension, SLE. You can have any sort of disease, whether it's diarrhea or SLE. There is no absence of disease. Now from absence, we have to make this statement in mind. There is no absence of disease in procainamide. Absence means agranulocyte. A for absence, A for A. Whenever A comes, like anuria means no urine, right? Similarly, absence means not present, and similarly agranulocytosis we can learn from here. And then we also have disopyramide. Alright, from diso, if we had seen it, it becomes disco, and queens don't go to discos, right? Whether you pira, we can learn P Y R pyra. From that we may like memorize PYAR kar दें तो it becomes PR. Bride I am wearing means love. So, how much you love or pamper your queen. If she doesn't like to be in disco, she won't go. Queen means number 1, so it's 1A. Love, pyramide, and disco. That's it. So disopyramide is it's belonging to this 1A. So they have maximum anticholinergic effects. So what will be the effects then? Dryness, mydriasis, dry dry mouth and urinary retention. So we have to we can't give it, or it's contraindicated badly in glaucoma, in BPH, in CHF, even versions of CHF. Very clear. And one more we have Agmaline. drug is the ajmaline, which is used for Brugada syndrome. Flecainamide was also used in Brugada syndromes. Now, ajmalines, line means one line we will draw, and one line we are drawing means 1A we are talking about. So basically that is it. But where we are using these lines, somewhere accessory pathways, straight line, but accessory pathways will be a curve. WB, WA syndromes. Drug of choice in that will be flecainamide, because they are long acting, right? They are long term management. Yeah, so we can use this, but treatment of choice will be radio frequency ablation. So that is a radio frequency ablation. And in atrial fibrillation, drug of choice will be IV procainamide. So if it is atrial fibrillation, we can go for IV procainamide. See, I said SLE can happen in pros. Agangliocytosis can happen, hypertension can happen, diarrhea can happen, vertigo can happen. Vertigo and diarrhea, vertigo were in the queens, but now fibrillations can also happen in the pros. They are not. We did na. That is absence of disease. Pro can as minds. This doesn't mean if you are pro, there will be absence of diseases. Means there will be presence of some diseases like A for absence, A for agangliocytosis, and A for atrial fibrillation will also be. So atrial fibrillation will also be linked with procainamides, but the thing is, procainamide is a drug of choice in atrial fibrillation. So this was about 1A, 1B, 1C, and now coming to 1B, right? This is happening. They are acting for very short duration, like 1 second, and they are acting in what we say closed states. Why we want to block something which is closed? Because after all, after short time, it is gonna open, so we want to block it, and then in this we have to think of something called ischemia, MI. Now what's the logic? If it is in ischemia, there is increased permeability, increased intracellular calcium ions. Because of increased permeability, there will be prolonged, there will be continuous action potential generations, and that's going to cause, and A plus will be, sodium will be closed, and this is going to cause this action potential. This is too much. Recurrent action potentials, a prolonged generation of action potential will cause some things like tachycardia and fibrillation, but ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillation. So MI is causing the ventricular tachycardia, it is causing the ventricular fibrillation. So we need to close these sodium ions, otherwise MI will cause ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillation. So drug of choice in this will be, so this is a drug of choice if the condition is MI induced ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillation. Go for 1Bs, they are best also. We are acting for long times, but they are still best in some conditions. And then one more thing is here, if there is too much of the calcium in the body, so that can have again a link with, see, quinidine was also having a link with the digoxin, because it was blocking BGP, so it was causing digoxin toxicity. And similarly here, one in the any drug which is under the 1B, it will cause again toxicity of dioxin, and toxicity is responsible for the, what we say, ventricular tachycardia and fibrillation. So it is basically uses MI induced and dioxin induced ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillation. Very clear. Now one question rises, why there is no atrial arrhythmia in 1B? We were talking about the ventricular arrhythmias, ventricular fibrillations and tachycardia. Why not atrial? Why is it not happening over there? Because the span of closure of the atrium cells is only for few seconds, so it's very small period of time. That's why they are not effective over there. Okay, so here we have one drug, that is lidocaine. Okay, so one who is best will be from lidocaine. I'm understanding ludo game, because in cane, procainamide, we learned something, games, pro, hearts. Alright, but now it is lidocaine. From ludocaine I can understand ludo, and once you play ludo, you want to get that 6 dots. Very clear, you want to play the best way. So therefore we have high something on the top, something on the highs. So therefore that's linked with lidocaines. They have high VD, so high volume of distribution means we need to give too much of the drug. Means what we say is loading dose channel, we want to give more because of high volume of distribution than IV route, that is okay. But high first pass metabolism, therefore it's preferred orally. If we give orally, then that is what is maybe a problem. It has high first pass metabolism, but still, therefore we are giving IV. We have to give it from another route, that's IV routes, because orally if we give, then it has high first pass metabolism, high VD, so high loading dose we have to give. and definitely what we are giving it for. Same we know if it's about the 1B, it's about the ischemia, it's about the MI, it's about the dioxin toxicity. So it's not about those three diseases, those two diseases, MI and dioxin toxicity, but the result of those, that is the MI or dioxin induced ventricular tachycardia and ventricular fibrillation. The drug of choice is lidocaine. You play the dose, but don't forget your heart is an ischemic condition in main, or your body is in some toxicity, that is lidocaine toxicity, dioxin toxicity, sorry. And we can also use, instead of in this condition, in this case MI or dioxin toxicity induced ventricular tachycardia and fibrillation, we can also use another alternative. If lidocaine is not there, then you go for potassium channel blockers. We have to block the arrhythmic thing, we have to block the repolarization cycle will be delayed, and there will be no recurrent action potential generations and repolarization. We can go for amiodarone potassium blocker, that which we can use instead of lidocaine. What will be side effects? Okay, you may, when you're playing Ludo, you may get pissed off, you may behave in some other way. So it's about a brain thing, brain game. So whatever side effects will be there in lidocaines, mostly related to the brain, like neurological paresthesia, tremors. This is what is controlling the tremors. Seizures, somewhere is it. Then nystagmus, the brain is controlling your eye functions, retinal functions. Nystagmus, this is early sign of the toxicity. Now in the seizures, we are not giving the phenytoin, because phenytoin is itself is a sodium channel blockers, and because of that particular thing only there is some sort of toxicity, there is some sort of side effects because of lidocaine. So basically they are the blockers of sodium channels only. So we can't use phenytoins if the seizure is happening because of the use of the lidocaines. We still can't use the same functioning mechanism of action drug, because that's of no use. It's gonna just worsen the condition. So phenytoin is not used, but we will use benzodiazepines. It can also cause something called malignant hyperthermia. And last drug is there in this 1C, that is maxillatines. Maxillatine is oral derivative of lidocaine. So from lidocaine we have to derive something orally, because it's IV, and we want something of other route too, because it's very good and effective drug basically. So that is oral derivative. Now why maxillatine? Okay. Maxillatine. Can we think of maxillatine? Something maxi means mixi. Lidocaine, whether you are in your maxi or whether you mix the things, try some tricks, you will be caught. You have to play safely, truthfully. So that is lidocaine and maxillatine. So maxillatine. So mixi, we are making some mnemonic here. So that's maxillatine. So it has linked to lidocaine. So basically it's an oral derivative. So ventricular tachycardia, which we can use, and also we can use it in neuropathic pains. Now in diabetic patients, neuropathic pain is happening not because of nerves or some other things, because of blockade of sodium ions. The tingling and numbness is there. Means blocking means there is no propagation of the action potentials to the heart, and that's why there is result is tingling and numbness in your extremities. And there is neuropathic pain and myotonia, tone effect. The fact there is some sort of effect on the tone. So there is maxillatine M4 and maxillatine M4 myotonia, but still somewhere it's in the neuropathic pain you have, because it's all about brain thing, games and side effects, lidocaines. I guess it's making some sense. And definitely your heart, your right shirt, MI again, dioxin induced ventricular tachycardia and fibrillations. And then phenytoin can also be used. Dioxins induced tachycardias, we can use phenytoins. And then tocanides is not used, so just don't think of it. You just think of the drugs which I have mentioned properly. And one more thing, in the diabetics the neuropathic pain is there, but tingling numbness is there. That's because of the blockade of sodium ion channels, not because of some action potential propagations. That has no link with it. So there is NSAIDs, therefore has no role in this tingling and numbness, because they have to do something with action potentials, not with the channel blockage. But in diabetics, this neuropathic pain is because of the blocking of the sodium channels. It's because of these sodium channels, and therefore we will block the sodium channels, and we will use something which is blocking the sodium channels, and that is maxillatines. So that's why neuropathic pain we can use it in. So that is by blocking the sodium channels we can help with this tingling and numbness. Not 100% we have made the things clear, but somewhere 50-60%, if it makes some sense, it will be good. We are not pro here. Maybe I have made some mistakes, but we'll try my best next time. But this will be of some help, because if it's not perfect, but it is somewhere good. So yeah, see you next video.